But
to
usually
Yeah.
seller doesn't say about that.
Exactly. So if you want to do something else than a coffee shop, they will say no.
Can you give a bit more explanation how it works in this market?
So you need to divide commercial and industrial. So we'll do industrial first.
Не вы, как инвестор с деньгами, контролируете рынок.
I truly believe that residential and commercial are not so different.
So it's all about control.
This concept doesn't exist in Dubai because those malls are also interested in...
Я хочу иметь свой ресторан или свой магазин здесь. Всем привет! Сегодня у нас специальный выпуск. Записываем мы его в Объединенных Арабских Эмиратах, в городе Дубай. И сегодня я решила разобраться, в чем же разница коммерческой недвижимости в СНГ и коммерческой недвижимости в Объединенных Арабских Эмиратах. И для этого я пригласила специального гостя, мистера Пьера, который номер один на этом рынке, знает все о коммерческой недвижимости, о всех подводных камнях и расскажет нам всю правду. Пьер, good afternoon.
Hi, Tokshan. Long time. Good to see you in Dubai, finally.
Thank you, finally, yeah. So, I know that probably there is no one person like you who has expertise on the commercial property. Even myself, I'm 10 years in the property business, but when my clients start to ask about commercial property in UAE, I always get lost. So today, I already have a list of questions from my clients, which I would like to ask from you. And first let's start. Please introduce yourself for my clients and my watchers.
Yeah. So I truly believe that residential and commercial are not so different. The problem is that most people starting in residential, they get busy and they don't focus much on commercial, and they don't understand that regulation are just slightly different. So they feel they can jump from one to the other, and that's usually when they think, oh, it's too difficult, and they step back. So that's usually what we feel from the residential side. For me, I've been doing this for 9 years in Dubai. And as a new person in Dubai, you don't really understand. You come as probably like you say, okay, I'm coming from France. I come to Dubai. I can just take whatever I want, do whatever activity I want, and there's no regulation. This is wrong, completely wrong. Even to move the furniture in the place, you need approval. So there is so many rules to respect. It's not complicated. It's just steps that you need to know and go one by one. And that will be easy.
So the first question, which like all my clients ask, Tokshan, I know this is a very cool project. Probably I'll get an apartment for myself, but I want to buy commercial. And I'm always trying to explain that developers in UAE, they are not selling commercial property. And common questions like why? So
correct.
What's the reason?
What we see is most of the developers, if you look at the big names, so Abu Dhabi, you have Aldar, in Dubai, MR, Nakhil, Meras. So what they do is they obviously have a property management for the commercial, which are the malls.
Yeah.
So they are big owners themselves. And what they do when they build a residential building, they want to control who's going to be in the bottom of the building to benefit their residents. So if you look on the economic side of it, if they sell it, maybe they'll make a bit of money, it's quick money, but on the long term, the building might depreciate because of selling it. So let's say if you have 4 retails down your building, you live in that building, you say, okay, I want to live in this building, and downstairs you have 4 different supermarkets. You're going to say, what about the laundry? What about the veterinary clinic? What about the pharmacy? So developers change and say, okay, how do I control my tenant? If I give it to someone else, I lose the control. So I keep it. I don't need that extra money at the moment. I keep it, and then I can also control the rent. Because if you have 4 different owners, circumstances are different. So maybe the owner number 1 needs less money than owner number 2, price goes down, and all the owners are losing.
So it's all about control.
Yes, control and quality.
All right.
It's not about money, because it's long-term thinking. All these people, they know how to do. So usually it's all about the resident. So as a resident, you have to understand that they do it for you. They don't do it against you, because the buyer say, I can buy the apartment, buy the shop, and work from downstairs. It's not against you. It's actually for your benefits of the real estate product.
Interesting. And another common question, because back in Kazakhstan and actually in all probably ex-Soviet Union countries, commercial property generates you bigger ROI than any other property,
Correct.
even like if you are comparing for some warehouses and so. And what is the roughly ROI that you can generate? Of course, it depends of the location, we do understand, but in Dubai, let's say if we are talking about top 5 locations.
So I'm interested that you asked this question as the second question they ask. Usually they ask this as first the money, how much do I make, and then what can I do, what can I buy? And now you ask me what you can buy and then for how much. So look, the return on investment is very different here for one specific reason compared to our countries, is that owning the land is very difficult here.
All right.
So most of the properties on the commercial side, you're not the owner of the land. So you have this system called leasehold. So the government owns the land and give it to you for a certain time.
But
especially
wait,
like
if we
industrial.
are talking about, again, a residential building and the property, the apartments are freehold, it means that commercial is not freehold?
So the areas themselves, so as a neighborhood, you have leasehold of freehold. The neighborhood is leasehold of freehold, and then each tower is based on the neighborhood.
Okay.
However, for the industrial, for example, it's always leasehold for foreigners. You can never buy. You can only rent long term. However, even in the residential, there are areas in Dubai where it's still leasehold. You have one very famous called Dubai Silicon Oasis, which there you can only buy for usually 99 years. So that means that after 99 years, they will sit at the table and say, what do we do? Do we renew the lease for these people? Or do we stop the lease and just take whatever is on the land? So the thing is, in the UAE, most of the people, they have to buy a product that is built by someone else. Most of the international clients, they think like in their country, they say, look, I don't want to rent, I want to build it for myself and then rent it to my company. However, there's no plot most of the time available for commercial usage. Most of the plots are for residential, and you could build 1 or 2, 3 retails downstairs. We have so many clients coming to the country now saying, I want to build offices, I want to build retail shop, I want to build malls, this, that. All these plots are regulated, and it's not that easy to find them. This is why the market is focusing on building residential at the moment.
I see. So, and let's say 5 top locations and ROIs.
Okay, so this will also depend on the price per square foot. If you look at only return on investment, the places where the rent is picking up are the best. Like you have places in DIP, for example, that you get about 10% return on your investment for offices. However, the offices that you buy are leasehold. So there is a give and take. In downtown, you will buy offices very highly priced per square foot, so around 4,000 dirham per square foot, and you will get 350 dirham per square foot return. So if you calculate, after service charge, it's around 8% maximum revenue in your pocket, net. So there is no tax on owning the assets here, there's no tax on the rental income, and no tax when you sell it. So the return that you can have in Dubai is between 5 to 8%. To be very realistic, I know it's low compared to some countries.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Compared to Europe, it's amazing, but compared to some others, it's not that great. So the top 5 pick for me is downtown, because I specialize in downtown and I love it. Then you have the AFC, but the regulations are different, and most of the foreigners, because of KYC and compliance, it's more difficult for them to buy. So DFC, if they can buy, is great. Business Bay as well. So Business Bay is like the office neighborhood of Dubai. So many towers, so many same different quality, different projects. So depending on the budget, you can or couldn't buy. Then you have an area super famous in the south of Dubai called Jumeirah Lake Towers, where you can buy small offices. They're all around 100 square meter, good tenant because it's a free zone. They stay, they don't go anywhere else. And then you could think of something which is a bit out of the box, but places like Motor City, because these places are very residential, but most of the people now, because of the traffic in Dubai, as you experienced today to come here, they like to work close to home. And these are places focusing on residential, which few commercial places have been built and you can buy there. So that's also a second option.
So, perfect. 5 locations we do have. ROI is from 5 to 8%, which is very sad because back in Kazakhstan you can have 20 to 30% ROI for commercial. And when we are talking about commercial, it's not just offices.
Correct.
It's retail, it's warehouses. Can you give a bit more explanation how it works in this market? And let's say if I want to open a restaurant somewhere around the Burj Khalifa, or let's say I want to open a retail shop and have my warehouse, like what you recommend, from where to start, and how much that will cost?
Okay, so let's talk first about the type of properties. So you need to divide commercial and industrial. So we'll do industrial first. Industrial will have warehousing, so these are storage places or small factories. The labor camps, so these are the people where you can put your staff there for them to work. So instead of them being spread all over the place, you put them in one place and they live there and you just arrange the buses. And then the land. Some people, they just need storage. Like if you have a crane shop, you need places to put your cranes. So you can also have the land. So these are the industrial. Commercial englobes one part called the residential, hotel apartments. So in Dubai, when you buy hotel apartments, being residential property, they are classified as commercial. So something to know, just out of the brackets, you pay VAT on hotel apartments when you purchase them. So that's something to know.
Usually seller doesn't say about that.
Exactly. So you have to pay an extra 5% that comes out of nowhere. Agent don't know. So that's something to know. But the common properties here specifically are the malls. Most of the time you cannot buy malls unless you're from the Gulf countries. Then you have the retail spaces. Same as we discussed before, most of them are controlled, so not available on the market. The rest is available. Offices. And then showrooms as well, which is something very important. As you know, we have this long highway called Sheikh Zayed Road, where there's so much visibility, especially now with the traffic. You get stuck in the traffic, so you just look right, left to see what's going on. And having a showroom there is very good visibility. So down to the second question, which is, let's say I want to open first the restaurants. So the most important things to do, because there's so much competition in the market now, you need to have a company profile. So, hello, I'm Tokjan. This is my cuisine. This is the number of restaurants that I'm at the moment in my portfolio. This is what I want to plan in Dubai, the concept, etc. This is ideally my budget. Once you have all of this, you contact an agent, like say like Pierre. Okay, this is my profile, and I will go to the different entities that have shops. In downtown, it's quite easy because it's only MR. So we submit the profile to MR based on the review by the board of directors there. They will say, okay, we have 1, 2, 3 spaces, and then you have to pick one of them. So we have something very interesting from foreigners coming and say, okay, this shop is empty, I want this one. So they don't understand that because they control the market as well, they don't want to have a restaurant there and they're just waiting for, I don't know, a coffee shop. So if you want to do something else than a coffee shop, they will say no. So that's, it's not about you, it's about them.
About them, that's... thank you. That's very important, probably what I want to explain to my clients. Как сказал Пьер, вы не можете подойти, ткнуть на какое-то здание и сказать, я хочу иметь свой ресторан или свой магазин здесь, потому что не вы, как инвестор с деньгами, контролируете рынок, а рынок контролируют застройщики. Это очень важно понимать. One more question. Let's say you submit your portfolio to MR, but I'm sure there is like 1,000 another portfolios. Is there any possibility to push on your portfolio anyhow? That's again probably about our mentality, because in our countries there is always ways that you can break the rules. Let's say that.
So officially there is no way. And officially, you have different strategies. The first one could be to go to other properties, take rent there, and show that you're already a tenant of, let's say, Nakhil, Meras, etc. You have different branches, and now you want to go to the Crown Jewelry, let's say Dubai Mall, and you say, I already have those shops. I'm paying. You can visit my shops. You can see what I do. You can see my numbers, and show them what you do. Because most of the malls, they have an interest on your rent. So you will pay the base rent, and then based on how much income you generate per month or per year, there's a percentage that goes to the owner.
Oh,
which
really?
is called profit share.
Oh,
so
seriously?
They want tenants that make money. They have no interest on just taking your money.
Okay.
What they want is you. Of course, they want your money, but they want you to be successful.
Okay.
Because if you're successful, they get more from you.
All right.
But how do they guarantee this? They will do marketing for the mall. They will advertise you in different places, all this. So this is one way to kind of excite them. So like, I have this many shops already in Dubai. I want to come to you. I came last, and etc. The other way is also to kind of be different, you know, because most of the concepts in Dubai, it's like something similar. So you need to study what's in Dubai and say, look, I did my study, these are my research, this concept doesn't exist in Dubai. Because those malls are also interested in being the first one to onboard you, to say, look, this concept doesn't exist. We are the first one to bring it to Dubai. And because they have so many other locations, they know that you're not going to do a one-stop shop. You will open probably 10 different locations. But for your investors, the most important to know is the franchise system. So for most of these shops in Dubai before, you needed to have a local sponsor. So we'll have one gentleman from the Emirates or any other GCC country that will take the franchise under the umbrella and then go open. Now you don't need the local sponsor, you can do it yourself. But having a franchise agreement is easier because then you can open so many locations at the same time via franchisee. Because if you open only one, Dubai is a very diversified place. The clients of Marina Mall, they don't go to Dubai Mall. The clients of Nakhil Mall, they don't go to Emirates Mall. So each mall is a different economic system. So you cannot decide based on, oh, when I came to Dubai, I was a tourist, I like Dubai Mall, I want to open there. Maybe your clients are in Marina, or if they are Russian speakers, they will be in Nakhil Mall. This is a mistake, costly mistake. So the best is to open multiple locations at the same time. And to diversify the risk, you can do franchises. So this is also something to think about.
One more thing, which is like all the time is I'm hearing, and many of my clients are telling me again, Otokjan, like for example, we have a very successful flower shop in Kazakhstan. The ecosystem, we are number one. This is our figures. Now we want to go to Dubai and open our flower shop. And the thing is like nobody wants to risk their money. So first, even the company is enough, they have enough money. They want to get an investor for particular shop in Dubai. To test and how it will happen, like how the business will go. And as you said, it's better to open like in 4, 5, or 10 locations in once. But what about the risks?
So it's the same. From what I hear is this person knows their business and they are willing to give it to someone else to try it somewhere new. I think this is the wrong vision, because if you're successful in your business, there's a big chance that it's because of you, not because of being there for quite some time. You know, when you sell your business, there's always a time that the business will go down because the owner and the creator disappears. So what's important is you or whoever the investor that will take over that business needs to be in the same line than the creator. But the creator needs to come to Dubai and select the space, because what you don't want to do is that you say, okay, you need to open a shop in Dubai, and that guy's like, okay, I'm already paying so much fees to be a franchise. Then I need to pay royalties for the business that I make. So I will open some small shop in JVC because everyone wants to buy flowers. But if you're targeting the rich people living in Dubai, they're not going to go to JVC to buy flowers. So this is the conception. You need to find an investor that first thinks like you, and then understand that it's big money in place, because most of these people, they will try to cut the cost. And if you cut the cost, usually it doesn't work. And then you're far away in your country and you have your brand, nobody knows about it, and it's affecting your business because people think it cannot be the same than we have home. It's not the same people, it's not the same treatment, it's not the same clients, you know? So that's very important to understand this.
All right, thank you. We have... now we understand that you don't need local sponsor to rent or open the commercial business. I
think the best way to explain to your clients is that the first thing to do when you come to Dubai is you need to check the regulation for your business.
Okay.
So what they will need, it's called the commercial license. Commercial license is basically the authorization to do business in Dubai. Depending on what they do, it will be either mainland license, which is usually for the retail of offices that are actually doing business in the country, or they can go for free zone if they are just trading or operating from Dubai to do something outside. Okay. Like for example, real estate, you need to be based here. If you're selling computer software, you can be in the free zone. Okay? So once they have the commercial license will be subject to finding the right place to operate. Same, if you open a commercial license for a flower shop, you're not going to take an office. You have to take a retail space. So you go select the space, you sign the lease, you proof of address, you give it to the license authority, finalize the license. Okay? So now you have a shop and you have a commercial license. So now you need to think of who's going to be my employees and what's going to be kind of the daily activity. Do I need trucks? Do I need delivery men? If you're in the restaurant thing. So these are all the things that you have to do after. So the first thing is make sure that the activity that you want to do is authorized in Dubai, sometimes not. And how is it regulated? Because we have lots of people that think like home. They say, okay, I took my apartment for rent. I'm already paying so much money just to rent my apartment. I will just start a company from my home. Let's say you're a good chef and you want to do, cookies from home, and you start selling them. And then one day one client gets sick for something else, but comes after you, and you have no license, then you know the problems, they will pile up. Because doing cooking at home is regulated, it needs to be a certain hygiene, etc. So you need to be aware that it's not unregulated here. Everything is as per approval, so you need to go with the system.
Let's come back to the license themselves. So you said it's a mainland license, either free zone license.
Correct.
What is the price difference, and what is the difference of approvals of such a license?
So price is similar. I mean, the free zone, it depends on how regulated the company is and how complicated it is, but the price will be, I mean, as per today in 2024, it's around 16 to 20,000 dirham, regardless the license, unless you're in the AFC. But the AFC is a different regulation, so we're not going to talk about it now. Then what you need to do in the license, you need to always choose what is the main activity. So my main activity is, flower shop, and then you can do maybe coffee shop inside. You can do arrangement, wedding organization.
Some small retail.
This will be like secondary activities. So you need to decide on these activities. Same, the free zone, it depends on the regulation of the free zone. So the way it was done, mainland could be any activity working on the soil of Dubai. Free zone would be any other activities that are not working with the mainland, okay? However, they created different pockets in the way that they don't compete with each other. So you'd have one for the media, one for internet, one for the commodities, one for the finances. So these are different pockets that based on what you do, you can only go to certain free zones. So this is also something to check, because you don't want to start the process of giving you passport, paying fees, getting into the process, and then say, oh, but you didn't check this activity, is not allowed here. So that's important to check. So they have few companies called company setup here that you can go and say, look, this is what I do home, because sometimes you don't even know how it's called. In English, maybe it's different, or the name is used differently here. So you say, this is what I do, this is my website, and they will say, okay, for this, you need this specific license, and you can decide either to go with them or you can do it yourself. But company setup, usually it's a shortcut. So you'll pay a bit more, but no headache. You're sure to get the license and the correct one.
So you can set up the company from 16 to 20,000 dirhams.
Yeah.
All right.
And one thing to know compared to other countries is this cost is renewable every year. So the license is only valid for 12 months.
Yeah.
And you need to have a proof of address. So you don't think too smart and say, okay, I'll take this office for 1 year. After 1 year, get rid of the office and the license continues. No. So the license is valid only when the physical address is still there. So you need to renew the contract every year. And you have to pay fees every year, which are pretty much the same than opening.
So every year you pay around 16 to 20,000 dirhams to renew your license?
To renew the license, to continue the business. And how do you check which business is good to? So let's say you're new here and people come to you. So you have different system on the government website. You can put the license number and see if they have fines, if they have court cases against them. That's one way to know if they are good. And as well on the license, they will have established and you will see the first date or first year when that license was operating. So usually if you feel like the person is new and doesn't know anything and you check the licenses from 2 months ago, just try to stay away. But if the license is there for a couple of years, it's a gauge of quality.
All right. Amazing. Well, and probably my last question is, Dubai is everywhere now. All the world knows what is Dubai. Everybody wants to come, spend their holiday. Everybody wants to actually move to Dubai. So, but from other sides, people has idea that Dubai is overloaded already, and it's kind of bubble. So, what do you think about this opinion? And can you do like small broadcasts by Pierre?
So I think overload is it's a subject that doesn't exist to me. Everyone's complaining traffic, too many people here and there, but the city is expanding so much. We can see Dubai is being pushed towards Abu Dhabi. They're still building the new airport. They're building so many roads. The metro is being built. There is all these Dubai land properties that are being built. So people usually stay between downtown and Marina, which is the original new Dubai. The old Dubai, Burj Dubai, is still there. It's congested every day. Nobody's complaining about it. The new part is being as congested as the old one. And now they keep building more. So I don't think this is a problem. The bubble problem is usually you see the bubble like countries like in China where they keep building, but no one is living in it or buying it. The thing in Dubai is, as you can see in this market today, when they launch a building, after sometimes few minutes, the whole building is sold out and the job is done. The developer is building to sell, is sold, that's fine. And the buyer, some of them, they want a tenant, some of them, they want to move in. So you cannot know 3-4 years in advance what's going to be the final state of that property. So once it's get delivered and you have all these people coming from Europe and saying, oh, look at Dubai, I came, all the buildings are empty, no one is living in it. But maybe the guy is not resident in Dubai, he's just financial resident. He has his visa here, he's traveling all the time. Maybe his was vacation is in his home country, so he was not there. Or maybe the apartment is rented, the tenant was away for dinner. So you never know why it's empty at that specific time when you check. So, and most of the tenants in Dubai, they will tell you it's not a bubble. There's no space for rent. I just have to pay the new rent because otherwise I have to move in the desert. So I think that bubble effect is not something to consider. Prices are what they are. If people are buying, if people were not buying and the price will start to go down, fine. But at the moment, people are still buying in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai. So for me, it's, there's no talks about this. And I think Dubai made it very easy for foreigners to come with the new investor visa, with the foreign license that you can have 100%. The bank account are quite easy to get. So they push people to come to be a resident here. And I think everyone who tries Dubai likes Dubai and doesn't want to go anywhere else.
Thank you. And what I really want to ask as well, like we know that actually Dubai is one of the main city of UAE, but it's not a capital, and there is plenty of other cities.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, like majority of the people, foreigners who lives in UAE, they are in Dubai. But is there is any can you compare other Dubai to any other city in Emirates?
So one thing to explain as well to people is Dubai is a state and Dubai is also a city. So within the state of Dubai, you have the city of Dubai. But then you have Jebel Ali, you have Hatta, you have Burj Dubai, you have Dera, you have so many different places that are not Dubai as such. So the state of Dubai is one entity. Abu Dhabi is the same. So the oldest city in the UAE is Al Ain, which was the place where Sheikh Zayed was born, and Abu Dhabi became the capital. Abu Dhabi territory is about 80% of the whole state of the United Arab Emirates, which is divided in 7 parts. The 3 main competitors in the country in terms of business are Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Dubai was the first one to focus on international business. Abu Dhabi is focusing on the military and petrol and gas, so commodities of the country. So they are not too much interested in opening worldwide because they have enough to do. And they are focusing more on the culture with the new museum, etc. So Dubai was the only one who said, look, I need money from abroad, so I will focus on the tourism and the business. So they were the first one to open the Jebel Ali free zone port. They opened the Dubai airport free zone area for the transport and goods incoming. So this was based like this. And then Sharjah came up saying, look, we are an Arabic country and we want to remain Arabs in the mentality and be more traditional. So Sharjah remained a place where you couldn't buy as a foreigner. They opened some ownership for Muslim passport holders. So if you come from a Muslim country, you could buy there. But the business was more regulated into the Sharia compliance law, so some business couldn't be there. So let's say Abu Dhabi is very conservative, Sharjah is very traditional, and Dubai is most forward-thinking of how can we create the city of tomorrow where everyone from the world would come. We have more than 200 nationalities. So again, from the bubble, if you had that many people from so many different countries to call home Dubai, how can you call it a bubble? It's impossible.
Great. Thank you so much, Pierre,
It was
for
a
your
pleasure.
time and for answering all the questions. If you're allowed me, I will keep your contact in the link after under our video. And would like to thank you one more time.
Thank you for coming.
Друзья, я надеюсь, мы смогли разобраться с вопросом коммерческой недвижимости в Эмиратах. Если у вас есть больше вопросов, я под этим видео в ссылочке оставлю все контакты Пьера. Вы сможете ему задать вопросы. Ну или, конечно же, можете обратиться к экспертам WT Group, которые также смогут проконсультировать и всегда связать с Пьером. Всего хорошего. До новых встреч.